August the 23rd, 2020. Guys, remember the video I did a few days ago? We were talking about the Fujiwhara effect of two storms getting close enough and to each other's and start affecting each other's path and actually combining. You're looking at the U.S. Navy's newest model. And I think it's important to pay attention to this one, and the Canadian model is showing the same thing. What you're seeing is we've got Marco going to come in tomorrow into Louisiana, except here it stopped. Actually, there's a pullback according to this model. Now, this is not me, but according to this model, the second storm stops it. And I'll play it a little bit slower, guys. Anyway, here we go. Both storms coming up. This one's supposed to come in tomorrow into Louisiana. It stops right here. The second storm grabs it, rotates it around, and they both come up through Mississippi and Louisiana. See that? That's called the Fujiwhara effect. That will be one for the record books, especially to actually see it like this. What that means is it possibly could become much stronger, but right there you see that grab and pull into the same storm system. A lot of moisture remaining behind these two. Check that out. Again, U.S. Navy model. Now, the second most, or sometimes the most accurate model, is the Canadian model, or the CMC model. Same thing happening. It's stopping the storm tomorrow off the coast of Louisiana. It absorbs it and pulls it around behind it, and they both come up through Mississippi. You guys in my neighborhood, are you listening and paying close attention along the Gulf Coast? Watch this. Stop, pull back, pulled under, and pulled up with the storm. That's the Fujiwhara effect, guys. And what we're going to have to do is we'll watch the late updates this evening and in the morning and see if it's going to change the storm surge and things like that, the strength of the storm. We know that at this point, the second storm, Laura, is supposed to be a Cat 2. You're looking at modeling of the Fujiwhara effect. It's amazing, guys. Let's take a look at some of the latest. Now, the track of the second storm, Tropical Storm Laura, is at 50 miles an hour, moving at 21 miles an hour. That's how it's going to catch up with Marco. It's going to be offshore. It's saying in this model, or in this this cone model, Wednesday at 8 a.m. But tomorrow at 8 a.m., this about the location of Marco, except Marco's going to be slightly to the east if it holds that curve. Again, Cat 2 as it comes ashore. That's important. This was 2 p.m. update. And so now to match that modeling of that effect, you can see where they've got Tropical Storm Laura headed. Again, right up into very close to Biloxi. Right in this area, Canadian model, comes up the Mississippi and crosses Lake Pontchartrain up through New Orleans. Both come up through Mississippi. Then we will see how this works out. It's unprecedented in our lifetime. I think it was 1959 this was reported, but nowhere did we have the technology to actually see it. And guys, we are getting into some strange weather. Let's look at the other modeling. Now, I actually looked at this before I went over and looked at the animated models where we were seeing that Fujiwhara report or effect. And look at the Navy model in purple. It actually pulls, it shows Marco moving up and then pulling back offshore, then making a loop. You see that? That's the time needed. That's where it's caught up with the effects from Tropical Storm Laura, which at this time will be a Cat 1 or Cat 2 hurricane. And then it pulls back up through New Orleans, right over my house, through Jackson, Mississippi. You see that? That is something to pay very close attention to. I went and filled up my vehicles today and got my gas cans filled for my generator, guys. A lot of people were doing it at the stores, and they're saying that the price of gas could go way up if any of the refineries or anything are affected, or if delivery is delayed. You could have not only some gas lines, but a shortage for a few days, depending on the strength of this storm. But the Navy model has been real accurate in this purple loop, which is really weird until you realize what's behind Marco coming in. Let's look at the satellite images themselves. Now, this Gulf satellite image kind of tells the entire story, guys. Look, coming in your right of your screen here, coming over the island of Cuba. That is Tropical Storm Laura. Here you have Hurricane Marco at 75-mile-per-hour sustained winds. They're already within 800 miles of each other. And so this may be the scenario, one of a kind. We hope it's one of a kind. We hope we don't see another one of these during the solar minimum. We don't know what's going to happen. I've never had to actually try to dig down and do the math and figure out how two storms would combine and what the effect would be. But on the next report, we're going to look at the updates on the storm surge, etc. It's a heads up, guys. Mississippi, get ready.